Let's continue to discuss the latest in terms of the tariffs, and also the potentially trade tensions between the United States and Canada. A live picture there at the White House. We just saw advisor Stephen Miller speak as Trump ends the trade talks last night emphatically, as he says all trade negotiations with Canada are over because of a television ad sponsored by one of its provinces. They used the words of former President Ronald Reagan to criticize U.S. tariffs, prompting the province's leader to later pull the ad. And this also comes in light of a positive inflation report today. Although inflation grows, it is less than expected. Let's take you out right now to Rebecca Castor with this report.
Merger of Canada and the United States.
That wasn't where I was going.
Less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump and Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney looked chummy at the White House. But now there's a major rift over Canada's characterization of U.S. tariffs.
But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker.
In this new TV ad, Ontario uses a speech by Ronald Reagan to criticize Trump's tariffs. But the Reagan Foundation says the former president's words are being misrepresented. And in a post online, President Trump announced, based on their egregious behavior, all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated.
We can't be taken advantage of, not only by, quote unquote, our enemies, but also by our partners.
A lot of progress has been made, and we stand ready to pick up on that progress and build on that progress when the Americans are ready to have those discussions.
On the upside, the latest inflation report shows tariffs and unfinished trade deals aren't causing prices to immediately soar, as some economists initially feared. Prices are up 3% from this time last year, and month-to-month inflation grew 0.3%, but both numbers were slightly better than expected.
The inflation numbers were fantastic. 48, Bloomberg economists got it wrong.
The White House is now warning there likely won't be an inflation report for October because of the government shutdown. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
All right, thank you so much for that. A lot of coming in here at the end of the week about the global economy that is. Let's take you right now out to the tarmac. We heard from the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, speak for just a few minutes to the media earlier today. Let's listen into this.
The other side of that? No? Backed up? You got new slacks? All right, good morning. Look, for months we have stressed the importance of distinguishing things we can control and things we can't control. We can't control the trade policy of the United States. We recognize that that policy has fundamentally changed from the policy in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. And it's a situation where the United States has tariffs against every one of their trading partners to different degrees. And it's in that context that our officials, my colleagues, have been working with their American colleagues on detailed, constructive negotiations, discussions on specific transactions, specific sectors, steel, aluminum, and energy. And a lot of progress has been made. And we stand ready to pick up on that progress and build on that progress when the Americans are ready to have those discussions, because it will be for the benefit of workers in the United States, workers in Canada, and families in both of our countries.
All right, just listening in there, Mark Carney talking about this after President Trump calling off those negotiations with Canada after an ad featuring the former President Ronald Reagan. All right, I'm Andy Mack here on Live Now from Fox. Coming up after the break, we're going to take you out to Canada, Toronto to be exact. Game 1 of the World Series just a few short hours away. The lineup's now set. The starting pitchers getting warm for this game. The Fall Classic will begin up north. We're back after this here on Live Now.